So, when we last left off, the party had, uh, well, fresh out of the town of Vallaki and the uprising that they played a part in there, they had decided to go and check out an old windmill, kind of on the road between Vallaki and the village of Barovia. Um, Upon approaching the place and knocking on the door, they were greeted by the kindly old uh, dream pastry lady that they had met during their first visit to Barovia. And, well, they were invited in, and due to some interesting tactics by Malkar, a fight ended up breaking out between the residents of the windmill, who turned out to be three. Well, you don't know exactly what they were, but certainly not natural humanoids, to be sure. Amidst a quite intrusive darkness spell cast by Malkar, the combat went on for quite some time, but eventually the threat just seemed to disappear. As the party then kind of went through the remainder of what was to be seen in the windmill, they found a couple of kids locked up in cages upstairs, and well, they decided they didn't like this place very much, and so they lit it up. They burned the windmill to the ground,
As is typical.
as is typical, and then sort of congregated outside to plan their next move. As Malkar was sitting back at the wagon, these three otherworldly creatures appeared once again and put a pretty quick end to the horse that had up until this point been drawing the wagon. So now the three of you and Rictavio and a couple of kids that you rescued from uh, cages inside the windmill are here by the smoldering ruins of this windmill, the wagon with no horse, and presumably some sort of threat looming out in the woods somewhere. What are you doing?
I thought Yoan turned into a horse.
No.
Oh,
I think the offer might have been made, but hasn't happened.
I swear we had dialogue, and then
Affirmative.
Yoan turned into a horse.
No.
She offered to Octavio, and then Octavio just kind of walked by.
Oh.
He was too upset about his horse
Ah. Okay.
to respond at that moment.
I am sitting on the carriage still, the wagon, just reading my book, like nothing happened.
Okay.
I'm just looking around, trying to see if I see anything.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Yeah, this is gonna go good.
I am going to do the same.
That's
Alright.
gonna work.
Let's see. Ron, you look around and you see smoldering remains of a windmill and, your party and a dead horse and a wagon. Yoan, looking around, you see
Probably all that Ron sees.
all that Ron sees, as well as toward the edge of the woods, off to one side of where the windmill once stood. You can just barely make out through the trees some large, looks like a stone structure or something. You can't really get a full view of it from here, but it would seem that there's been something intentionally placed out there in the woods.
I'm going to turn to Ron, who I'm assuming is standing next to me.
Yep, standing next to you.
Do you see that stone structure? And I point at it.
I look in the other direction. No, I don't see anything.
I take hold of his shoulders and point him in the right direction.
Oh, yeah. What is that thing?
I don't know. Another building? Maybe we should check it out.
Okay. Hey, Melkar, come on.
What? Where are we going?
There's a stone structure over there. I think those, whatever the hell those things were we were fighting, I think they may have ran over there.
Alright. Slam my book shut and put it away.
I look over at Octavio. What is he doing?
He kind of just seems to be collecting himself after the death of his horse. And seems to be kind of more or less. It seems as though he's pulled himself together, more or less. I guess I should say. But yeah, he's just kind of leaning up against the wagon, scribbling something in his journal.
Octavio, there's another. I'll approach him. Sorry. And I'll say, Octavio, there's another building over there. Do you want to check it out?
Well, I suppose it couldn't hurt at this point. We're already down one, and well,
Maybe they have a horse in there.
I'll walk over to. Will the saber-toothed cat be able to protect the children? Or tiger?
well, assuming the threat is visible and corporeal, I don't see why not.
Will he eat them?
No.
Okay.
I walk over to the children. And I'm like, well, you can stay by this nice tiger and he'll protect you.
Okay. One of them, a young girl, is still kind of visibly shaken by the whole thing, and the other one, this young boy, just he looks shell shocked. But they both kind of look over and give a slight nod.
Should we take a short rest? We did just get out of a battle.
You did take a short rest.
Yeah,
at
I think we did.
the end.
Oh, okay.
I also feel I should be obligated to say I have no more spells.
I'm full.
During my short rest, could I have started my ritual to speak with animals?
Sure.
So that way I can tell the tiger to protect these children.
Sure.
How far does that stone structure look?
How far away?
Yeah. Like, how long will it take to walk there?
Like, it's maybe 50 to 100 feet beyond the tree line.
Okay. I'm gonna start casting ritual for comprehend languages.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit down and cast the ritual of didgeridoo.
I can do the ritual while walking.
Yeah, but it's not going to take 10 minutes to get there.
Yeah, it'll probably take closer to like 2.
Alright, well, I guess start walking at the 8-minute mark.
Is anybody using hit die?
Already did.
Well, you gain...
We did it last time.
Okay, well you gain an additional...
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Good.
All right, so you all being rested up and having cast or partially cast your rituals. Anything else you'd like to do before heading in?
Uh, hmm. I guess we shouldn't. Can I do an Arcana check on the door to make sure there's no like magical traps?
Well, to be fair, you don't even know what the structure is until you've reached it. Are you actually proceeding toward the tree
Oh,
line and approaching the stone thing, whatever it is?
oh yeah. Okay. I thought. Yeah. The way I thought you were saying it is we walk there and then what we were doing before we go in.
Yeah.
No, we're not there yet.
Okay. Well, I'll do that when we get there.
Okay. So as you make your way through the kind of overgrown woods and toward the stone structure that Yoan had pointed out, you can see that it's not even so much a structure as a single large stone that's been placed upright in a very kind of Stonehenge sort of way. Upon approaching, you can see that there are, in fact, 4 of these large stones, each one standing probably 30, maybe 40 feet tall, covered in moss, and each one bearing a crude carving of some kind of city or settlement. You see one that looks to be covered in snow, one surrounded and ornamented with flowers, one with a bright shining sun overhead, and one covered in fallen leaves.
Just like the seasons.
Yeah, it appears it's showing the 4 seasons.
Is there any words on any of them?
Go ahead and make a perception check. You do not see any words on any of these things.
I will. Can I do it as well?
Yeah.
Hooray! We both see nothing.
We'll do it as well.
No.
All right. Looking around, you do not see any writing on any of the stones, but you notice that there is a bird, a raven by the looks of it, perched atop the what you would guess would be the stone that represents autumn. It's pecking at something, and as it kind of pecks away and eventually knocks the thing off the top of the stone, you see about half of a dream pastry tumble down to the ground. As it kind of rolls down toward the center of the kind of congregation of stones, you see, looks like a pile of something. I guess, Yoan, go ahead and make a nature check with advantage. Okay. These appear to be a number of children's teeth.
That's cool.
You said that it was a pile.
A pile.
That's a lot of dead children.
Or toothless ones, at the very least. I take it you point this out.
Yeah.
I walk up. Wait, is it on the floor?
Yeah, just kind of on the forest floor, sort of in the middle of these stones that are standing.
Based
Wow.
on some of the shit I've seen, would I have any idea, like, if this was like a ritual site or anything like that?
Go ahead and make a history check.
Nope.
Not a fucking clue.
I've actually
I
been stricken with slight amnesia from shit I've seen.
would I potentially have read about any rituals or anything like that?
I would say
Similar
you
to
could make a history check for this as well.
Woo!
All right. Well, it's hard to pin down exactly uh, which one of these entities the levers of these teeth might have been attempting to appease or what have you. Um, you do recall something about teeth being a primary component in rituals used to effectively desecrate areas for the amusement or benefit of various archfey.
You Archfey.
So it's they're doing it in offering to an archfey.
More or less.
I'll just say aloud. That's a good idea. That's something I should probably do.
What? What are you gonna do?
So, this whole area was some kind of ritual to desecrate the area, just for amusement for someone's patron. So,
Huh.
it was a good idea. I should probably do something for mine at some point.
We probably shouldn't desecrate anything.
I mean, we could desecrate this. And I kind of gesture towards the desecration site as I go to start undoing my pants.
I know where this is going.
If nobody
Okay.
stops me, I'm gonna undo my pants, go take a piss on the teeth.
All right. And piss on the pile of children's teeth you do.
I want an amusement.
I look over at Melkart. Did that do anything for your patron?
Probably not.
How? You said these things are like 70 feet tall?
Like 30 to 40.
Oh, okay. Can I try and knock them down?
Sure. How would you like to do that?
By casting this. It's gonna roll by casting. Let me write the description.
Yoan casts confusion.
He hurts himself in his confusion.
Yes. Thunderwave?
Because it's a 15-foot cube, so I'm wondering if I can aim it at the bottom.
Wait, that is Thunderwave, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like trying to knock it down,
Yeah.
and I assist with an Eldritch Blast. In the same direction.
Can I assist by viciously mocking it and saying, "You call yourself a wall"?
You can certainly try.
I am. That's gonna be the way I.
Anyways, I'm gonna cast that at a stone.
Okay. So there's this echoing as this blast of energy emanates from Yoan. Just echoing and reverberating throughout the woods and whatever might lie beyond. At the same time, Braun lets loose a torrent of vicious mockery, and
roll?
Malkar. Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Should I do the 1 or the 2 for a normal attack?
Let's just call it 1.
Okay. 1 it is.
All right. The stone does not budge.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Oops. Can I do this? And
Dig around it.
yeah,
Okay.
like dig a hole that kind of makes it fall down.
Sure. All right. So several castings of mold earth later. Are you just trying to effectively like lower its level, or are you trying to like tip it?
Tip it.
Okay.
So just kind of mining underneath it on one side.
Okay. Yeah, it takes a bit, but yeah, you are able to eventually kind of pull enough earth out from beneath the stone that it just topples over, and with a series of loud crunches and cracks, just breaks through a number of the trees that kind of surround this area, and it's just lying there. Was there a particular one that you were going for, by the way?
What were the descriptions of them?
Each one a carving of a city or settlement of some kind. One covered in snow, one covered in flowers, one with a sun shining overhead, and one covered in leaves.
The one with the snow.
Okay.
I'm gesturing to the raven to come get off the stones. Like, come over.
Upon the eruption of the thunder wave, the bird did just, and take off.
Oh, okay. So you scared away a raven thing. We could have talked to it. Maybe. I'll just look up, hey raven thing, if you're there, come back down.
Are you using your cone?
Yes. Yeah, I pull out, reach in my bag, pull out my hand cone and say it.
Raven
Alright.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't see any response.
Okay. I'll just put the hand cone back in my bag and inspect the fallen thing.
Okay.
The fallen rock.
It looks very much the same as it was standing there with the other stones, except now you can see the bottom.
Is there anything underneath it?
Is it cracked?
No, it is not cracked.
Can I Arcana check it to see if it's magical?
Sure. Doesn't seem like it.
Huh. Guys, these are not magical.
Okay.
Yoan, maybe you should hit the fall one, the autumn one. Because that is the one the raven dropped the dream pastry off of.
Okay. So, yeah, again.
Just kind of dig out part of the earth underneath and tip it over.
Yep.
Okay. A couple minutes later, you have done that. And again, there's the loud, crunching, cracking, and then thud as it settles down on the forest floor. Again, it just seems to be lying there.
Nothing underneath it, no.
No?
Hey, yo, okay, are they all, like, trying to think, are they, how are they positioned?
Well, given that there are 4 of them, more or less, I guess you could say in a circle, but, kind of one across from the other.
So in a square, essentially.
Essentially, yeah.
Are they that close together, though? Like, are they really, like, back to back to back to back?
No.
Or, no? Okay. So how much space is between them? Like, is there enough space? in like the center of them all, I guess, for somebody to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's easily enough space for that. Probably, I would say you're probably looking at somewhere in the vicinity of 20 to 30 feet from, one to the other, like across the circle or square.
Okay. Hey, Yoan, maybe there's something underneath this. And I walk
The
towards the
center.
center. Yeah.
I start digging. Well, I do like an Arcana check, kind of like a metal detector, trying to like see if there's metal, but see if there's actually magic.
Okay. Roll check.
Working.
You're not picking anything up.
Uh, being that I'm standing right there, can I also just to see if there's any? Like, I'm not gonna metal detector. I just want to stand right there and see if there's anything. If I sense any
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Back.
Nope. You
Nope.
do not sense anything magical.
From that roll earlier, knowing somewhat what the ritual was, would I know that there might be magical items involved?
There's actually no guarantee of such a thing that you're aware of.
Hmm. Alright, I'm just gonna keep standing there then.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Um, did you dig in the center still, or no?
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, you scoop out, a good bit of dirt from the center, and you don't find anything out of the ordinary.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, do they don't look like they're big tombstones, do they?
Not really. I mean, you wouldn't have any, I guess, precedent to suggest that.
Wait, was the autumn one knocked over?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the winter one. There's something significant about the autumn one. Because why would that dream pastry be sitting up on the autumn one?
I mean, maybe the raven was just eating it and brought it up there.
Maybe. How thick are the stones?
Probably somewhere in the 15 to 20 foot range.
So wait, they're 30 foot tall and 15 foot thick?
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe we should just knock them all down.
I don't know, as long as, yeah, as long as, And where were the teeth in relation to this?
Dead center.
Okay.
Now they're all strewn about.
Can I burn the teeth?
Sure.
I'll eat as well. Prestidigitation, just kind
It's
of
always
light their
fun.
fires.
Always fun burning things. I'll use control flame and help their fire spread.
I asked Melkar to, light things on fire.
Okay. Yeah, you more or less, well, at least blacken the teeth, and eventually they begin to kind of crumble away.
At this point, what does the windmill, or not the windmill, or was it a windmill?
It was a windmill.
Okay, what is it? How is it looking?
I mean, there's still a massive column of smoke rising up from it, but fire itself, well, it's still burning. I guess, it's reaching at least closer to the end of its life. Uh, uh, the majority of the structure has already kind of collapsed in on itself and been consumed by the flames, so it's kind of burning down.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna head back out there and
All
check
right.
that out. And I'll let them do what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do next, so I look at Ron and Melkar in Rictavio and seeing if they have any ideas.
Well, I'm already heading out to the other,
Well,
to the burnt building.
right before you walk away.
No.
Well, Octavio doesn't seem to have anything productive to add to the conversation.
Who was it that told us about the missing children?
That would have been Danica.
Maybe we should go back to her and bring the children. Maybe she can help them find a home.
Well, we might not want to go back into town that recently.
Yeah, especially into Valake. I look at Rictavio. Do you know a roundabout way to get to the winery? Because I'm sure they can. I'm sure that. Oh, what the fuck is his name? Shit. I don't have it.
Well, why not?
It's somewhere. Oh, Davian. I'm sure he can at least get them into town to Danica, as he's going to be making passes through there quite a bit.
Rictavio kind of seems to think and says, well, I'm sure it could be done, but there's only one road to the winery, and that would take us straight through the heart of Valaki. Everything else would be off-road, over foothills of the mountain, through the forest.
And that's not a good thing.
Well, you've seen the more civilized parts of Barovia. You tell me, what do you think of that?
Yeah, let's stick to the road.
What about that temple I was mentioning earlier? We could always go there.
I don't know that I'm ready to die yet. So let's put that one on the back burner.
Alright.
But we'll keep that in mind. Well, what do we have? What should we be doing? I mean, I probably should go talk to Strahd and find out what he wants to do now that Valake is just kind of gone to shit. That's probably a thing I should do.
I'm up for it.
Well, we can't bring the children.
No, but
At this point, the little girl kind of chimes in.
Why is the little girl here?
I thought Ron said he went back.
yeah, I ended up going all the way back.
Then how are you having this conversation?
I thought you guys followed because there was nothing else to do there.
I didn't follow immediately.
Okay, well, fine. The little girl doesn't chime in because this conversation is somehow happening, but not.
Okay. Now I head over there.
Okay.
I walk
So,
away. I'm kidding.
and you hear a ferocious wolf howling in the distance.
Oh, I thought that was a saber-toothed tiger.
Ferocious.
Yes. It would seem the ferocious wolf has to do wolf things.
Ah.
But, well, she walked away for now. Anyway, yeah, the little girl chimes in. And, says, well, I don't really know a whole lot about places around here, but, well, I met, a nice lady. Her name was, Irina? She's from my village.
Oh! Oh, I know her. She had a brother, right?
I think so.
Ismark.
His name sounds familiar.
Yes. Okay. I clap my hands together. So how about a trip to Barovia? I believe we have a great innkeeper you have to meet.
Or we can just bring her back to her village since we know where that is.
That's where it is. Barovia.
I mean, but not to the innkeeper.
No. I'm talking to Rictavio
Okay.
about the innkeeper thing. And then I look back to the girl. You're from Barovia.
It would seem we need to take a break. Pretty,
Yeah.
we're in pretty dire need of a break here, according to the ferocious wolf. So, yeah, I guess call it for a couple minutes, and I'll be back.
Okay.
She has wonderful timing, I know.
Yes. How dare you say bad things about her?